Hello everyone. Welcome to another Starcraft 2 cast. My name is Osborne and I'll be bringing you this Protoss vs Zerg on the Lost and Lonely Abyssal Caverns. Down in the lower right hand spawn of the Abyssal Caverns, playing Zerg in the red, we have a Secticidal, and his opponent playing cross position in the northern left hand spawn point. We have, playing Protoss in blue, Serder. Now, Serder is a person who I've actually cast the game before, but unfortunately, when I did the whole editing thing and I compressed it, and when it came out on YouTube, the audio was apparently corrupted, and it was like, at first it was fine, and then like halfway through it just kind of went crazy. It wasn't anywhere near where it was supposed to be, and then eventually just cut out completely, and so I kind of felt a little bad, and so I wanted to do another one for him. I've been looking around for another good one, and this one is actually pretty nice, and I like it, and I think you guys will too, and I hope you guys enjoy it because I know I will. It's always fun doing a I believe he's diamond? Serder? Platinum? Diamond? I forget. I'll put it up on the little badge up on the screen when I'm done, and everyone will know from the beginning, and this little rant that I'm doing right now will have absolutely no meaning to them because they'll already know. In any case, we've got some good scouting going on from Serder. He's about to find out that he is indeed in cross position from his opponent, and therefore it is very much safe to take this Forge Fast Expand, which honestly has become pretty standard for Protoss lately. Like in the current metagame, Protoss Forge Fast Expanding is pretty much the norm. Unless they're 4-gating, in which case, whatever. Can't really hate too much on the 4-gate because it's so effective. I mean, you can't not do it. And this drone chasing this probe around, the probe sees that gas coming down. I'm not sure if that's actually going to stay up or if Secticidal is just trying to toy with his mind. In the meantime, though, Secticidal does have a drone in Serder's base, and if he goes over here and looks, he will see that there is absolutely no gas, which you could probably have, taken from the fact that there isn't any, there's a forge there. In Forge Fast Expand, usually you want to get as much minerals as you can because you're trying to fast expand. And then everything made sense. We've got a drone chasing that probe halfway across the map, just flying away. Both of them just kind of floating over here. Alright, now the drone decides that it's way too much trouble and runs back to the hive. Hatchery coming down for Secticidal, the pretty much standard 15 hatch, 15 pool, I believe. And up comes the spawning pool as well, so it might have been actually a different build. I'm not sure. It couldn't have been too far off. Maybe like a 15-14. Like exactly afterwards, which isn't so bad. Gateway coming down for Serder. He is going to be able to make that kind of like ish wall. Well, he can put just one zealot in this little crevice right here, and he'll be able to see that he'll be able to block. He won't be able to see anything because he'll probably be standing in the wrong direction as they normally are. Ridiculously fast third base coming down for Secticidal. So his macro game is going to be his prime focus here. He's going to try and go straight up, overwhelm his opponent. And it's what you need to do to make a third fast expand because 2-base Protoss versus 2-base Zerg. I think we all know by now Zergs are not going to get the good end of that one. Protoss units are just so much more effective, but they take so much longer to build and they're so much more expensive that it's just 2 bases is fine for certain things. If you go more than, if you go like double robo, you might want to get more than 2 bases, and once a Protoss gets a third base and his macro starts going, it's very difficult for any race to beat, including other Protoss. So unless you've got a 3 base versus 3 base, that would be quite the macro game, I admit. Let's see like something like MC versus Huck when they both just go straight up 3 base stuff, but they won't because of the 4-gate. Because that's what people do when it's PvP. They 4-gate. And as well they should, because if they don't 4-gate and the other person tries to go for macro game, the 4-gate usually wins. And that's just how it is. Hatchery is up for Secticidal in the southern expansion, so he'll be pretty much good there. Not too much trouble of harassment. Assimilators going up the third and fourth assimilator coming up, so he's going to try and go for something pretty heavy gas, it seems like. Let's see, he's got the +1 ground weapons coming up. He's got some sentries coming up. He's got warp gate technology on the way. A little late on the warp gate technology, but that's fine because he did the forge fast expand. And let's see, what is he going to do with these chrono boosts? Keeps building probes, as he should. He's got 2 chrono boosts. Let's see what he does with them. He's not... Oh, there's a chrono boost. Where'd it go for? It went to the other nexus. So that's cool. So both nexuses being Nexi, being chrono boosted, but unfortunately he's supply blocked, and therefore that chrono boost is completely wasted, which is not something you want to see. A little stare down in the middle of the map, that probe looking on the other side of the thing, and now these Zerglings are going to come around and just kill that Zerg hard. And there goes that probe. He's going to kill the probe, not the Zerg. Zerglings are not going to kill the Zerg. That doesn't make any sense. Unless it was a ZVZ, which it is not. Not chrono boosting out that upgrade, not chrono boosting the warp gates, but the warp gate was already done, so here we go. Stalker coming out for Serder, going to try and get a little bit of range done so that he can attack through that one zealot. That zealot is carefully watching absolutely nothing into like the wild abyss that is the Abyssal Caverns. And he's feeling good right now. He's just looking out, contemplating what it means to be alive. But in the meantime, there's a bunch of Zerglings over here, and there's a bunch of Zerg over here, and there's probably going to try and kill him, so he should probably get back to his post. You know, it's what you want to do. Baneling nest up, Baneling speed coming up, and Aspire also coming up, and let's see what else he's got going. He's got, no, that's not, he's got all 4 of his casts coming up. Oh wait, now he's got 6, so he think he did both of the ones on his natural and both the ones on his third, so he's going to have a lot of gas to make those Mutalisks that he's trying to make, only if he puts drones in the assimilators, or the extractors, or the refineries, or whatever the hell that they're called. God. But Serder knows about this base now, and there's not a whole bunch of defense for it. And I don't think Secticidal knows that Serder knows about it. He's transferring some drones back to his natural? I'm not sure what that's about, but he does see that observer. I would think if he just looks, he'll be able to see that little glimmer right there. It always seems weird to me that you can actually see cloaked eaters. You can't attack cloaked eaters, but you can technically see them. It's kind of strange to me. I guess it's a balance issue. I mean, you can't just have invisible things going around mercilessly killing everything that you own, I guess. Pylon in the middle of nowhere, just to try and reinforce that third in case that this pylon goes down. Next is coming up. He's going to have a decently timed third, and once he does, it's going to be very difficult for the Zerg to out-macro him, unless he gets a few macro hatcheries, you know, just kind of spread, maybe up in here. It's a good protected place for them. But a 4th hatchery coming down, kind of in the middle of nowhere. I mean, it's good that he has these spread out expansions, but he might have wanted to go with a little bit more spread out. He's got Zerglings, Banelings, and Mutalisks. That's kind of the build that he's going for, and that's really, really mobile, so you want to have spread out things. Spread out bases. Day 9 taught me this, so it's definitely good information. But yes, the more mobile your army, the more spread out your bases want to be, because in case there is a counterattack, you can just, you know, go into his base when he doesn't have anything there. And it's like, okay, now I've got this big mobile army, and you've got this big, powerful army, but it's slower. And mobile armies sometimes win those giant, like, in the long run they'll win, like, because they'll keep picking off little bits of units. But you don't want to be able to have, you don't want that big Protoss ball to come at you straight on with that mobile army, because they will get completely destroyed. Stalkers go through Mutalisks pretty fast, and these tickle monsters may not be that much damage, but any damage is a lot of damage against Mutalisks, because Mutalisks are very fragile. Speaking of Mutalisks, we've got this little flock right here. We've got about 9, so that's good. It's a good amount of Mutalisks for harassment so far. You want to get a critical mass of Mulus, you want to get about 30 of them. But he's not making any right now. He's making 3 macro hatcheries. So that's good. He has them out in the middle of the frickin' map, though. I'm not sure how wise that is. There's one down by the 3rd. Very, very vulnerable positions for these hatcheries. I guess he just doesn't want them in his main because it gets dropped, I guess? I don't know. That's a very strange position. I guess it's in the middle of everything, so it's kind of easy for all those units to get there. But they are very exposed. And I'm not sure how good of a macro game Secticidal has. He doesn't have any drones at his 4th base yet, and his 3rd, I believe, is about, yeah, he's got it pretty well saturated actually, so I guess that's not bad. His main, just about to be mined out. He's got, I think he's got almost perfect amount of things, yeah. He's got one, he's missing one, but that's fine. Big Muta harass over in this northern expansion. Pretty much killed all of the probes. I think he got a few of them away, but in comes those blink stalkers. Gonna drive the Mutaflocco out. Now how many does he have now? He's got about 15, so that's good. He's about halfway to that critical mass where you can just go and one-shot pretty much anything. And look at this Baneling ball of death. That is a lot of Zerglings. That is a lot of Banelings. How many Zerglings is it? 4 pages of 24, so that's 3 plus 24. Oh my gosh. That's a lot of Zerglings. Okay, well, that's 24, 48, 60, 70. Oh my god. So many Zerglings. Bad at math. Can't do math now. Trying to cast game. Giant Zergling attack to northern base. Destroying absolutely everything. The only real criticism I have against this is that there's absolutely no upgrades for the Banelings except for speed. And you want those +1s to just do so much more damage. And down goes that Nexus. Big counterattack from these Blink Stalkers. Going to try and kill off this hatchery. This macro hatchery as well. These 2 Colossus pretty well, you know, in the open. You don't want them quite there. You want them up in his face. In those little Blink Stalkers so that this big Mutalisk flock doesn't come and just completely tear through it. Where is that Mutalisk flock, by the way? There it is. A bunch of Banelings that are trying to come in, trying to do a bunch of damage, and they take out a lot of Stalkers, but not quite enough. These Mutalisks trying to snipe off these Colossi, but they're taking so much damage from those Stalkers, and they turn around, they're not getting the Colossi. They do not want to engage those Stalkers. They want to take out these Colossi. The second one goes down, but he needs to run away. He loses almost all of his Mutalisks. That is not what you want to happen. You want to be able to, you know, just kind of delay them while your Zerglings come back and, you know, make sure that these Colossi don't kill everything. Stalkers, though, still there. Colossi down. Enough Zealots to get rid of all these Zerglings, though. This giant pile of just dead flesh and Zerg, and oh my god, that's terrible. You don't want to see that. And these Mutalisks, this is what I'm talking about. The Zerglings were out and they weren't targeting down the Mutalisks. Now, of course, they are because the Zerglings are dead. So these macro hatcheries are going to die. This is kind of why I didn't want them out in the middle of nowhere, because just a bunch of Blink Stalkers and some Zealots and a little bit of force field play, and those hatcheries just die so fast. They're not the most hardy of big structures. They die pretty quickly. So I guess that's why they cost 100 less minerals, and a Baneling comes and smashes its face into that Stalker for no reason whatsoever. And down goes the other macro hatch. But 10 Ultralisks on the way, and that's going to completely mow through all of these Stalkers. But I don't think it quite matters because he's lost all of his macro hatcheries and most of his macro, but here come the Ultralisks shredding through all of these Stalkers like they were butter. Absolutely zero damage being done to these Ultralisks. Tickle monsters trying to get those Ultralisks, but they're not ticklish whatsoever, and just completely smash those snow globes over their own heads. I don't know how that works. I guess it's kind of like taking someone's head and shoving it up his own butt, but something like that. And these Ultralisks just not liking this pylon, deciding that they want to shred it. This pylon as well. Screw that pylon. Die, pylon, die, and there it goes. Exploding in a bunch of electricity and whatever the hell happens when things of Protoss die. Just needless explosions because, hey, they're filled with something that explodes. Boom, explosion. Here come some zealots that are going to do absolutely nothing. But there is an immortal, and he's going to do a shoot ton of damage. He's going to do about, what, 55? He's got plus 3, so 65 damage per shot against these giant... Oh, wait, yeah, they are. It's 65 damage. That's a lot. Bam, 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 bam. But he's not... He's on the... What is he on? Hold... Oh, no, he's on hold position. And he's not well positioned at all. Oh, no, this is not good. A little band of stalkers and probes and zealots coming down. And that single sentry... But these Ultimas are just taking so much to Serder. I don't know how he's going to come back from this one. This is a ridiculous amount of Ultimas, and they have done so much damage. 8 for that one. Oh, here comes an Archon. Archon's going to do a little bit of splash damage. That's going to be pretty effective, but it doesn't matter as they are retreating. How many freaking kills? 7 kills for this one, 8 for that one, 8 for that one, 8 for that one, 7 for that one, 11 for that one. Holy crap. And here comes a big force field death destroying trap. Bleh. But they burrow. And that's going to be it. He's going to have to bring his observer down to see these burrowed units. And these Ultimas come down, they're going to go through these, but they're very, very weakened. That Ultima's going to go down, but 3 Ultimas still remain. And nothing making for Secticidal. Like, he's not making anything at all. Very strange. No chitinous plating for those Ultimas either. About 4 Zerglings can come up and try and attack this base because, hey, why not? But I'm not sure how effective that's going to be. Secticidal does have the advantage when it comes to the supply, but he only has 1 base and it's almost mined out. It is not what you want to see. He has a good surplus of units. He might be able, or of minerals, so he might be able to do something with that. But it doesn't look like it's going to be very good. Both these Ultimas going up against 2 Archons and an Immortal, and that's not what you want. 3 Zealots also hacking away. And that plus 3 upgrade is just so good. Upgrades versus no upgrades, upgrades always wins. And I'm not sure how much... He only had 1 on the armor. I'm not sure what he had for the melee attack. Let's see if I can find a Zergling and find out. No, workers don't count. Where's the Zergling? There's a Zergling. It doesn't tell me when it's burrowed. Okay. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Blizzard. Anyway, let's see what we got going up here. We got a giant Maynarding of drones up to these 2 expansions. I don't believe they're going to be able to live that long, as there is a probe going over there, but then coming back. Does he know about it? Let's find out. No, he does not. Not quite. But his observer is going to come up and look at this gold base and be like, huh, where is he getting stuff to build stuff with? We must find out the cause of this conundrum. But both hatcheries are now up, so he's going to have his minerals back. Let's see the minerals income. Okay, it's about even. It'll go, I believe, into Secticidal's favor, as he has just so many drones. Yeah, it's going back into his favor. That's pretty good. Serder saying wow. Secticidal saying what? Close game. It is a close game, although Serder does have a little bit of an advantage in the fact that he's Protoss and he has some Archons and some Immortals, and he actually, I don't know. This hatchery is going to go down. And this hatchery is going to follow it pretty closely, but there is a giant swarm of Zerglings as well as 5 Ultralisks about to come up and just go through these people. But he can't lose these Ultralisks, and you do not want to get into a choke with the Ultralisks. Run back, my friend. There is a big burrow, but there is a orb. Oh man, it traps the Archon and kills it. Well done by those Ultralisks, but it's already down to 3 Ultralisks, and he's in a little choke area. And that Immortal is just doing so much damage, and that burrow doesn't do anything as there is a conserver there. That, I don't know how that death sequence goes. I guess like a bit of his head blew off or something, but that was pretty brutal right there. And I don't know how Secticidal is going to come back from this game. He has a bunch of burrowed drones, but he decides to unburrow them because he remembers that, oh wait, there's an observer somewhere. Burrowing isn't going to do anything. And he keeps just running back and forth, and he's not going to be able to get away. Oh, so much splash damage. Oh my gosh. Those Archons taking out so many drones. 26 kills for one of the Archons. Oh my gosh, so many changelings. Because hey, why not? Let's just send in a bunch of changelings. But Serder is like, oh no, sir, I am too smart for your silliness. I will kill all of these changelings. All of them die. And these overseers just like, oh, well that didn't work very well. And he attacks his own units for kind of half a second. He realizes, oh wait, they're not changelings. Whoops. And I believe this is going to be the death push with just these two Archons and an Immortal. Because I don't think yeah, Secticidal has absolutely no income. And he doesn't have anything to throw this off. And GG is called. Sees those, dies, a horrible death. Says well played by Serder. Good job by both players. A big back and forth matchup. And I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please subscribe and tell me. And share the love. And tell your friends. And then, you know, watch IGN or something. I don't know. Do something like that. Alright. Talk to you guys later.